What is YouTube? How y'all doing? Yay. Check it out, man. Hey. It's about 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 people that know me. And they keep saying, stop eating on camera. And I say, okay. And I do it anyway. They should. You think they would figure it out, right? They still haven't figured it out. I'm going to do what I do. That's what I do. Who channel is this, by the way? What's up, YouTube? Hey, check this out, man. I'm debating on we're going to go ahead and do this one right here, man, since it's up there, right? Where my glasses at? God, yeah, I know Uncle Mike ain't never, they're in my pocket so I wouldn't lose them. Some type of border control. Oh, excuse me. Ooh, that's the beer. I got a beer, y'all. I'm still celebrating. All right, border crisis. Check this out, man. This is important. Now. My bad, y'all. Wait a minute. Check it out real quick. Check it out. Border crisis. Four charged with smuggling 20K. 4 people are charged. 4 charged with smuggling 20K immigrants. Huh? 20K? I thought that was money. 20K immigrants from 𝗗𝗓𝗡𝗞𝗦. Oh man. Live now from Fox News. Dude, we gotta do this. Is important, man. Real talk. We got to do something to shut down this border, man. We have to. And that's Trump kept talking about it. Did y'all hear about in New York, the lady got set on fire. This on the subway. This person was in the United States illegally for the second time. They are giving all kinds of breaks and different things. Why? I don't understand the why behind allowing these people just to walk across the border and then go into this. I don't understand. I really, really don't understand. So I'm hoping that somebody can understand me. Make me understand. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell. Let's check this bad boy out. This is important right here, man. Let's check this out. Give him a thumbs up. Here we go, y'all. Check this out.
And welcome back here to Live Now from Fox. I'm Andrew Kraft. A gorgeous Live Now picture there over Los Angeles. And earlier today, that's where we learned that, according to the U.S. Attorney's Office there for the Central District of California, an illegal immigrant from Guatemala has now been arrested on a 4-count indictment, alleging he led one of the largest human smuggling organizations in the United States, a ring that smuggled approximately 20,000 illegal immigrants from Guatemala to destinations nationwide over a 5-year span. Fox News correspondent 𝗟𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓 Alicia Cunha on this story.
How did this happen?
Organization caused deaths.
Federal authorities in Los Angeles announced the takedown of a Guatemalan criminal organization responsible for one of the largest human smuggling operations in the United States. On Friday, agents arrested Eduardo Domingo Renoch Matul and Cristobal Mejia Chay, both illegal immigrants from Guatemala, for allegedly moving more than 20,000 migrants into the U.S. since 2019. The Border Patrol says agents noticed illegal Guatemalan immigrants being transported with large amounts of cash.
This was more than just a regional smuggling organization. This was a complex, coast-to-coast smuggling organization.
Authorities say the group charged migrants up to $18,000 to get from Guatemala to the Arizona border. The smugglers would then hold the migrants in stash houses in Phoenix and Los Angeles before relocating them around the country, often keeping migrants hostage for months in this LA neighborhood if they didn't pay the transport fees. Also charged, 𝗗𝗓𝗡𝗞𝗦, who was already behind bars for killing 7 immigrants, including 3 children, in a 2023 car crash in Oklahoma that happened during a transport from New York to Los Angeles. Another suspect, Elmer Obispo Hernandez, is on the run after authorities say he threatened to kill a federal agent.
While search warrants were being executed in Los Angeles on Friday, he telephoned a member of the investigative team and threatened to kill that agent and his family members by cutting off their heads.
The three suspects in custody are being held without bond and face the death penalty if convicted. In Denver, Alicia Acuña, Fox News.
Alicia, thanks so much. In the meantime here, we want to listen to a little bit more of this press conference today with the U.S. Attorney there for the Central District of California announcing these arrests and what went into bringing these people into custody. Let's watch.
Morning.
Here we go, y'all.
My name is Joe McNally. I'm the acting United States Attorney here in Los Angeles. I'm joined by my partners in federal law enforcement from Homeland Security Investigations and the United States Border Patrol, Deputy Special Agent in Charge Dwayne Engelbrecht, and Greg Bovino, Chief of the El Centro sector of the Border Patrol. I'm here to announce an indictment charging 4 defendants with operating one of the largest human smuggling rings in the nation. The indictment alleges a transnational criminal organization smuggled approximately 20,000 illegal immigrants from Guatemala to the United States via Mexico, and then transported these aliens to cities throughout the United States. The offenses alleged in the indictment show a criminal group that acted with callous disregard for our nation's immigration laws and no regard for the immigrants that they smuggled. They held individuals smuggled hostage for months, threatened them and their family members with violence, and others, including children, were killed in a horrific car crash in Oklahoma in 2023. The indictment charges 4 defendants, all of whom are illegal aliens from Guatemala who committed crimes while living in the United States. Each defendant faces up to life imprisonment and the possibility of the death penalty. Their crimes include conspiring to transport and harbor illegal aliens for private financial gain, which, as I mentioned, at least in one instance, resulted in death. The ringleader, Eduardo Domingo Renojo Mattel, was arrested and arraigned on Friday along with his right-hand man, 𝗗𝗢𝗡𝗞𝗦. Both defendants have pleaded not guilty, and a trial date is being set. Another defendant, Helmer Obispo Hernandez, is a fugitive. He's pictured here. In addition to the charges of the indictment, he's also charged in a federal criminal complaint with threatening to kill a federal law enforcement officer. While search warrants were being executed in Los Angeles on Friday, he telephoned a member of the investigative team and threatened to kill that agent and his family members by cutting off their heads. Those actions demonstrate just how violent this organization is. A 4th defendant is in custody in Oklahoma in connection with the fatal car accident in 2023. The transnational criminal organization operated for at least a dozen years and specialized in smuggling illegal immigrants from Guatemala to the United States. The movement of those illegal immigrants within the United States, especially between Phoenix and Los Angeles, and the harboring of those illegal aliens in the United States. According to the indictment, associates of the organization in Guatemala solicited thousands of illegal immigrants to come to the United States. Those associates then accepted payment between $15,000 and $18,000 for each smuggled alien to come to the United States via Mexico. They coordinated the movement from Guatemala to the United States. Mexican smuggling organizations transported the illegal immigrants from Mexico into the United States, initially to Arizona. Once the illegal immigrants were in the United States, they held them at stash houses, where they were later picked up by the organization's lieutenants. The illegal immigrants then, for an additional fee, were transported and moved to various stash houses throughout the United States, including Los Angeles. Those who did not pay their fees were held hostage, including at a stash house here in the Westlake district of Los Angeles. This organization caused deaths. In November 2023, while transporting illegal immigrants, defendant Jose Paxtor Ola, caused a car accident in Elk City, Oklahoma, where he was transporting people illegally. That car accident resulted in 7 deaths. 3 of those individuals are minors, including a 4-year-old child.
Wow.
The actions of this human smuggling organization demonstrates a complete disregard for the nation's immigration laws. As the Attorney General has said, we are doubling down on our efforts to enforce long-standing criminal immigration laws. The failure to enforce those laws fuels these criminal organizations. I thank Homeland Security Investigations, the United States Border Patrol, the Inglewood Police Department for their diligent efforts investigating this dangerous and violent criminal organization. I also thank our prosecutors, Sean Nelson and Elia Herrera, for their work ensuring that these charges were brought and this organization dismantled. The human smuggling case that I've spoken about was part of a week-long series of events focused on revitalizing existing immigration enforcement activities, which include cases in which illegal immigrants were victimized, other cases where people here illegally exploited the nation's immigration laws, and dozens of criminal complaints this week were filed against illegal aliens with criminal records who had been removed from the United States after felony convictions and then returned. These included individuals convicted of violent crimes like manslaughter, assaults on police officers, and drug trafficking. This area of criminal activity is a priority, a top priority for the Department of Justice, and our efforts to target individuals participating in criminal activity here will continue. I'll now turn it over to the Deputy Special Agent Charged from Homeland Security.
How they get back into the daggone country if they've been kicked out?
Good morning. Thank you for the opportunity to speak to you today about an important investigation that was run by ICE, Homeland Security Investigations, and Border Patrol, and prosecuted by U.S. Attorney's offices in the Central District. This investigation targeted a prolific human smuggling organization that was responsible for moving roughly 20,000 immigrants into the United States. As mentioned previously, this investigation also resulted in the death of 7 migrants as they were transporting east into the interior United States, including a 4-year-old child. The organization would typically bring in their clients into the Los Angeles and Phoenix area and transport their money into bank accounts, laundering those funds and depositing those into Los Angeles-based financial institutions for banks in the region. Human smuggling is a grave and dangerous endeavor that people who are mostly desperate and looking for a better life engage in, not realizing the possible dangers and the end results, which sometimes involve trafficking, exploitation, coercion, and long-enduring trials and tribulations to get to their end destination. The illegal activity not only endangers their lives of those being smuggled, but also the national security and public safety. We work with our partners, U.S. Border Patrol, state and locals, and U.S. Attorney's Office to ensure that people who bring these endangered individuals into the United States who are just looking for a better life to justice, especially in instances where, as in this, life has been lost. It's important for us to get a message out to the public to ensure that information is being provided to ICE, Homeland Security Investigations, to Border Patrol, and our partners so that we can combat these crimes as they're happening. We ask for the public's assistance in calling us at 1-866-347-2423 with any information that you may have regarding smuggling organizations and human trafficking organizations that are exploiting the vulnerable in this society. Thank you.
Can you please spell the name of the
Yes, last name is ANGEBRANDT. Dwayne, DWAYNE. Thank you.
We'll now turn it over to Chief Greg Bovino, Chief Border Patrol El Centro Sector. Chief.
Thank you, Joe. Good morning. Again, my name is Gregory Bovino. I'm the Chief Patrol Agent of the premier sector in the U.S. Border Patrol, the El Centro sector. I'd like to thank Joe McNally, Acting United States Attorney Central District, Homeland Security Investigations, as well as allied law enforcement agencies who all took part in the important takedown of this Turco transnational criminal organization. Border Patrol specifically provided approximately 50 agents this past Friday for this takedown. Those 50 agents were from 3 different sectors: the San Diego sector, the Yuma sector, and the El Centro sector, primarily from our Special Operations Detachment, which includes BORTAC, the Border Patrol Tactical Unit, BORSTAR, the Border Patrol Search, Trauma, and Rescue Teams, as well as our Sector Intelligence Unit, K-9 teams, and our Strategic Communications. This Turco organization, as you've already heard, is a very dangerous, very prolific organization. 2021 was the first year that Border Patrol agents came into contact with this transnational criminal threat. Those were agents from our Indio station on Interstate 10 noticed a unique phenomenon of Guatemalan illegal aliens being transported westbound from points in New Mexico and Arizona. Further investigation revealed through eastbound stops with large amounts of cash and illegal aliens that this was more than just a regional smuggling organization. This was a complex coast-to-coast smuggling organization, a coast-to-coast organization. At that time, our partners from Homeland Security Investigations joined us in this investigation, as well as the United States Attorney's Office here in Central District. And in the ensuing years, a lot of good work was accomplished by all parties involved, resulting in that takedown this past Friday. I'll close by saying that border security is created. Let me say that again. Border security is created. It doesn't just happen. It's created through innovation, forward thinking, and moving the ball down the field. This Turco organization was destroyed, dismantled, top to bottom this past Friday. And that's what we're after here. That is what we are after here. With our partners at HSI, U.S. Attorney's Office, and all other law enforcement agencies, one of the most complex, far-ranging, far-reaching smuggling organizations is now out of business. On behalf of the men and women of the United States Border Patrol, it's time to turn and burn. Turn and burn. We're turning and burning onto that next target. As soon as we leave this conference room, we're on to the next one. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. I'll now take questions. Yes, sir.
So you said that they are responsible for transporting over 20,000 migrants. Can you tell us how you arrived at that figure and how much time did it take them to smuggle that many people into the United States?
So the organization had been operating for more than a decade based on information that we found during search warrants and other parts of the investigation. The 20,000 number is based on material that we seized during a search warrant. Trafficking organizations, just like any criminal enterprise, oftentimes tracks and keeps business records. And we found records showing a little more than 20,000 individuals being smuggled to the United States. I think it was around 20,800, so approximately 20,000 based on material that we found during the course of the search warrants.
Could I ask you a couple of questions about the Oklahoma crash? Were all the victims in the vehicle? Was it a result of a DUI, and was it a result of them being chased by ICE?
Yeah, I'll refer you to the indictment. It was not a result of them being chased by ICE. It was an accident that resulted during smuggling, and all of the victims were in the vehicle. Yes.
Was this Guatemalan man the one that you caught on last Friday in 41 Street in Avalon?
So the individual here, 𝗗𝗢𝗡𝗞𝗦, is a fugitive and unknown where he is, whether that's in the United States or Guatemala, but he's a fugitive. He was not one of the individuals arrested. He is the individual who, during the execution of search warrants on Friday, telephoned one of the investigators from Homeland Security, one of the agents working on the case, and said that he was going to kill that agent and kill that agent's family members, including his children, by cutting off their heads. That was Mr. Hernandez.
Do you have an idea if this man is related to the one that he was arrested on Friday on Avalon and 41st Street?
I don't know the relationship between that individual and 𝗗𝗢𝗡𝗞𝗦. Other questions?
A couple things. I just want to make sure I'm clear. So the 20,000 people who were smuggled in and essentially victims of this group into the U.S., over what time frame was that again? I want to make sure I'm clear.
I think it's roughly a decade period. Well, let me break it out. I can tell you that the organization operated for roughly a decade. The exact time period of what those 20,000 victims covers, I don't know. I don't know the exact time period.
And you had said that they would take money from people and put it in bank accounts. Roughly how much money are we talking about?
Well, $15,000 to $18,000 was what was charged for every individual who was smuggled into the United States. As I said, individuals would then be held sometimes at a stash house. If they were not, their fees were not paid. They were held hostage, sometimes for months at a time. There was violence threatened against family members, often down in Guatemala. They would tell the individual at the stash house that, we're going to harm your family in Guatemala if you don't pay. And obviously, they also the actions resulted in the deaths of 7 individuals, including a 4-year-old child. Yes.
Question: of the
crazy.
20,000 individuals, approximately what percentage were women?
I don't have that information. We can find that for you.
And was this a cartel related? I mean, I'm assuming it was, but I want to put it out there. I mean, the cartels are known for being extremely violent like this.
Yeah, look, what I can say is, as a general matter, smuggling organizations smuggle all kinds of things, as you know, not just humans. They do drugs. They use those same supply chains. And in order to exist in Mexico and in Guatemala, you have to have very significant criminal partnerships and ties to cartels in order to be able to operate as a general matter. Yes?
Can you speak on what makes these defendants eligible for the death penalty and what your thoughts on that is?
Yeah, they are death eligible because their actions here, smuggling for private financial gain, resulted in the deaths of individuals, and so the statute includes a statute that includes a potential death penalty.
Sir, when you were talking about cartels, are you talking about the Sinaloa cartel or cartel Jalisco Nueva Generación?
I'm talking as a general matter that human smuggling organizations only thrive when they form partnerships and work with cartels. But for that, they're not going to be able to operate and engage in the type and scope of criminal conduct that you've seen in the indictment. One more question? Somebody who hasn't had a chance to ask one?
Okay, I have a question for the HSI.
Any other questions? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so it's mind-boggling to think that only 4 people are responsible for such a large number
Sure.
of people being smuggled across the border. Are you looking for other suspects other than these 4 guys that you already have zeroed into this criminal activity?
So we've gone after, with this indictment, the leadership, and the reason that we've done that is that's the most efficient and effective way to quickly dismantle it. I will tell you that the investigation remains ongoing. In order for an organization like this to operate, it requires criminal partners, not just in the United States, but in Guatemala, who are recruiting the people and then threatening violence when fees aren't paid. It requires criminal partners in Mexico, and our investigation into this group's activity continues. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, everybody.
Caught me when I was typing. Golly, this is important, man. This is important. The Border Patrol, man, they've been letting people just walk over the border. I couldn't believe they just threw babies They threw babies over the wall, the border wall, and then they run back into the woods. Then the United States got to take care of them. The legal immigrant laws need to change. And I'm really into this because Trump said over and over again that his main job is going to be to take care of this border patrol. So Trump, you in the office, seem like to me you're doing your job. Now, one of the things I didn't understand and I was listening for was, I wonder how long they've been investigating this ring. Did this investigation started before Trump actually got into office? Or did it start like soon as him and what's the guy name? I think his name Jeff or something. When they got in and started, I mean, Trump took office and said, go get that border patrol thing taken care of. Is that how it happened? I don't know, man. So, hey, y'all let me know in the comments. I wonder when the Democrats was in office, I wondered, was they already investigating this ring? Or did this investigation start when Trump get in office? Y'all let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Y'all take it light, take it slow. Tell them Uncle Mike told you so. Peace out.